I'd like to go to the first one, discussion with possible action regarding El Metro Operations Center on Scott Street. Who will be speaking?
Mayor, if I may, I think the Metro is going to have a great presentation on PowerPoint, but I would like to say that we
Patients for El Metro and a new citizen to Laredo as of 1 month ago. As you saw the packets that are before you, I have a short-term, mid-term, and long-term proposal that I think could possibly alleviate some of the issues that have been going on with CNG gases. On the short-term solutions, I've got two proposed, and that's something that could be done immediately. And that would be changing the fueling times that we do our bulk fueling. That could be done as a matter of days with your approval. I've got an A and a B plan on that one, and one is changing doing the majority of the fleet fueling before 9 p.m. and after 4 a.m. And the reason it would be that it would diminish the amount of CNG being powered while residents are sleeping. This weekend we went out and asked a few people when the time frames that they were getting the majority of the gases. We got two answers. One was while they were trying to sleep, and the other one was around the late afternoon, 7 to 9:30, 10 o'clock when they're outside.
How many people did you talk to?
20 people.
Do you have it documented?
In that area.
You have those names documented?
No, sir. This was just for my study that I have here.
For your study, and you don't have names? You don't have, you talk to?
No, sir. This was...
Next time you do a survey,
yes, sir.
I want to know who you talk to.
Absolutely.
I mean, because I need to know who you talk to.
Yes,
okay, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Mayor, we have a neighbor that lives right in front, and he's always complaining. I believe he's in the audience, Mr. Recio over there. If you ask the question, he could probably tell you the information. Like
okay, we'll let him.
Okay, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay. On the same time, on the B side of that short-term solution would be to address and do the fleet fueling after 10 p.m. and before 4 a.m. And that would be to alleviate the issue that they were saying that from 7 to 10 when they're out in their yards trying to enjoy the late afternoon, we would eliminate all fleet fueling for that time. Again, I will get names for you next time.
Well, you know, I can't sit here and you tell me you talked to 20 people.
Right.
I don't know who you talked to.
Right.
I don't know what addresses you went to.
Right.
That shows me a little lack of efficiency.
Okay.
You know, from my standpoint, because my responsibility is to our constituents here.
And so is mine, Mayor.
Well, you know, we had this problem for a long time. I know you just got here.
I understand that, Mayor.
Can I finish speaking,
yes,
please?
Sir.
I want facts.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And I've been piddling around with this problem for a long time, and I want it solved. I know you talked to me about short-term, mid-term, long-term.
Right.
I want it solved. Okay?
Yes, Mayor.
Is I making myself very clear?
Absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead.
On that note, from someone that, I mean, I work at El Metro and spend 12 hours a day there, I want it solved too.
Sure.
And my family lives here in Laredo, so I want it solved too. Just
yeah, but you don't live. Do you live near the place?
No, sir. I work.
Okay.
I work 12 to 15 hours, which is the majority of the day.
But people live there, sir. So
yes, sir.
I expect you to get the job done.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay.
On the midterm solution, Mayor, City Council, was the thing that you mentioned at the last City Council meeting was moving fleet fuel to the city fleet site. It was brought up at the last City Council.
I didn't mention it.
Or the City Council.
Well, don't quote me if you're. You know, let's get the facts straight. Okay?
Yes, sir.
First of all.
Okay.
Okay.
I talked to City Fleet, Mr. Tony Lara at City Fleet, and went over to the City Fleet site and did an analysis to see if it was at all possible. They have 3 CNG pumps. One is non-operational. 2 are operational. They're slow fuel, which would take a little longer to fuel our buses. To make daily rollout every day and make all our routes is 35 daily buses to make complete rollout. Of those, 22 are refueled in the middle of the day because of the long routes. They have to get refueled at about 3 p.m. So 22 are fueled twice, and the rest are fueled once, late in the afternoon. If you look at the presentation, I've attached a dollar figure to the midterm solution, and that is with setting up a shuttle-type service to have our service fleet shuttle these buses to the fuel site. It's about 11 miles round trip with a bus, so we're thinking it's about an hour per bus, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes of fuel, and 20 minutes back, if we were to update those pumps and have that capability. So unless we add extra pumps, Mayor, City Council, that wouldn't be feasible at this time. It would take at least we have 20 pumps at El Metro, and even that takes a couple hours to make sure we have rollout in the mornings. Again, I did attach a dollar figure to that. You can see that under mileage cost.
What's the amount for clarification?
What's that, Councilman?
Mayor, what's the amount for clarification?
$1,191,360, and it's under mileage cost to move fuel operations to...
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yes, sir. Mayor, City Council, on the long-term solution, we currently have $8 million earmarked towards the building of the new site. It is in the next year and a half or 2 years, what we can do is when we're doing the planning for this new site is to, instead of concentrate on buildings and the structure, concentrate on fuel first. Once we have it paved and ready, first thing we do is put the fuel tanks there in order to alleviate that problem, get our fuel site out of the 401 Scott location.
As I'm looking at, what was your full name again?
Lloyd Williams, sir.
Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir.
I am for safety first.
Absolutely.
The reason that we're here is because we represent the citizens. I know you live the city. I know you work there 12 hours a day. But one of my frustrations is that we get the runaround. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And it's not going to happen anymore. Because we're going to have a very close eye on your department. Because it's not right for an elderly citizen to come in here and have to complain and complain and complain, and nothing is done. I expect from you, Mr. Williams, and your colleagues to get on the ball and get the job done. Okay?
Yes, sir.
No more excuses. And I've talked to my colleagues. We don't want to hear excuses. Because safety is first. I don't want to have a catastrophe here in this city. Because if we have something happen, you will be brought to the carpet. Is that clear?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay.
And you have my word, being a new citizen to Laredo, that I will give that issue priority.
Mayor.
I'm not being, let me just clear one thing. I get tired of the same Bobby bureaucrats giving us lip service. And this is not what this administration is about. You're getting paid good bucks, right? You're getting paid good money. All of you and all of us have a responsibility for the safety of our citizens. And that's why I brought this to the agenda. That's why. I didn't bring it here for any other reason, because I'm concerned for the safety hazards that our citizens face. And I'm not going to put them in harm's way. And I can assure you that none of these councilmen here. Go ahead, Councilman.
Yes, Mr. Williams, I didn't hear you talk about having an extra fuel tank installed on any of these buses. The fleet in San Diego runs on extra fuel tanks, and they fuel out there, and they don't have the same problem we have in Laredo. When I went out there about 3 years ago, I brought those recommendations to the Metro, and they never follow the recommendations I brought. Because I was there and I saw the way they operated their fuel system, and they were running on CNG, and they've been running for quite a few years. I suggest that you call the San Diego Transit and find out how they operate their buses, because they don't have the same problem we have here. And I know sometimes the heat has something to do with it.
Right.
When you fuel. When you're fueling, some gas might escape,
Right.
but that can be corrected if it's done properly. I believe your problem is when you're actually fueling, the way you install the hoses on the vehicles. That's where the problem is with your connections. That's one of your biggest problems. And I brought those concerns, and nothing was done about it. And that's why I have been in favor of canceling the contract with First Transit. Because we're just spending $300,000 a year, and we're not getting results. And that's my concern.
Absolutely.
Mayor, if I may,